Hey guys, how's it going? I'm glad you stopped by today. Today, I thought we would do something kind of easy. This is a no-bake recipe. We're just gonna put it together and stick it in the fridge. And it's called cherries in the snow. My friend Heather had actually sent me the recipe via Facebook. And it sounds absolutely amazing. I don't remember exactly whose recipe it was that but I'll put it right here down in the description that she got from it on Facebook, but it's in the recipe. Really easy recipe, very easy recipe. Like I said, no need to heat up your oven, not even a need to get your stand mixer out. We can just use a hand mixer. If you're so inclined, you got the willpower, you could probably even just get away with a spoon or a whisk. That's not me, but that's all right. It is it's a cream cheese base with an angel food cake, and mixed in with the cream cheese and the whipped cream topping, and then a layer of cherry pie filling on the top of that. I think it's going to be amazing. But anyhow, if you are new to my channel, this is your first video, welcome. If you are returning or one of our several new subscribers, welcome back and thank you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Comments, always welcome. I respond to all of them, good, bad, or indifferent. The only thing I ask is that you are polite. You know, think before you type. You know, that's all I ever ask. It's okay to disagree with me or anybody else in the comments, but just think before you type and be polite. I think that's it. I will give you all your measurements in cups, tablespoons, teaspoons, along with grams and milliliters where it does apply, which is pretty much every ingredient. And that way, no matter where you're at, you can play along, right? That being said, why don't we head on down here to the counter and we're gonna get started on this bad boy. All right, hold on for me just 1 second. All right, so down here at the counter, first thing we're gonna need, and this is where I varied from the original recipe, and I saw this in the comments and I thought, ooh, this sounds fun. So, the original recipe did not have any kind of crust. All it had was a 9x13 dish with your layer of your cream cheese and angel food cake base, and then your layer of cherries. It was just two things. But then I saw in the comments that somebody had a similar recipe with a graham cracker crust on it, and I thought, you can do a graham cracker crust without baking it. Let's do it. So first thing we need to do is we're gonna make our graham cracker crust. I've got a bowl right here that we're gonna use to mix it up in. You're going to need a couple bowls for this, and in this case, since I'm not using my food processor, I'm just using a freezer baggie, and I have 16 graham crackers in here, and I didn't get the gram weight. That's all right, we can figure it out. But first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my handy dandy mallet, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn these into a nice crumb. All right, I got them right here, and we have them crushed up. And I mean, if you've got little chunks in it, it's okay. It's okay. This is really one of those desserts that's just fun to make. Takes no time at all. This would be a good one if you're learning to make desserts, or you like grandkids, kids that you're trying to teach. So we can figure out how many grams that is. I just have my scale right here. I can turn it on real quick with the bowl, and I'm gonna mix this up in with the butter, and we can run it that way. You know, it was, like I said, it was 16 whole graham crackers, but it's 251 grams. We'll probably even go 252 with that little bit that was in there. So now we know 16 graham crackers, 252 grams worth of graham cracker. And to this, I am going to add 8 tablespoons, 1 stick, half a cup, 114 grams melted butter, and it's unsalted. If you have salted, you're fine. I don't think it'll hurt a thing. Yeah, I know it won't hurt a thing. It's not, I don't think it won't. So now I'm just going to grab a plastic glove. Sorry, my brain is fried. I have been the last week just so busy out in the garden, getting things together and building and, you know, sprucing up for the summer. It's been exhausting, but anyhow, so we get this mixed up with our plastic glove. All right, so we've got our butter and our graham crackers mixed, and what you're looking for, see how that held together like that? Squeeze it together, and if it holds, you're in good shape. Now if you squeeze it and you got butter pouring out of it, probably too much butter. If you squeeze it and it just does that the second that you let your hand loose, you probably don't have enough butter. And that's okay, because even, depending on whose butter you buy and when, how many graham crackers you have, how stale are the graham crackers, how fresh they are. There's a million and one reasons why that could happen, even if you use exactly 8 tablespoons like I did. But we are there at any rate. That's how to check it. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get this in our 9x13 pan. Okay, so we're using 9x13, and we are going to just simply, as soon as I get this crust put in here, I'm gonna put it in the fridge, and then we can move on to making our filling. All right, so we got our crust in the fridge, and now we can move on to making our filling. So I have 12 ounces, 360 grams, 340 grams, hold on, 226 plus 113 is 339 grams of full fat cream cheese in our bowl. So what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my hand mixer, because we can, and on a low, start out on low, work our way up to medium. We're going to go ahead and make this nice and creamy so there's no lumps. Alright, so we are nice and smooth, no lumps that I'm aware of. We're about to check and set that down. I don't use my hand mixer very often. It actually feels kind of weird to use it sometimes, just because I don't use it a whole lot. Maybe I should use it more often. But we'll go ahead and we're going to take our spatula, and we're going to go ahead and get it all back more towards the center, check for lumps, and as it sits right now, we're looking pretty smooth. So what we can do now is we'll go ahead and get our cream cheese off of our spatula, like such. And then we are going to add to this mix 3/4 cup, 150 grams worth of confectioner sugar, powdered sugar, to that. And then we're going to go ahead and again, we're going to mix this on, start out on low, because if you don't, you will have a face full of powdered sugar, I guarantee it. And then you can build it up on high until that gets in there, and you'll be smooth, no lumps from the powdered sugar or the cream cheese. Okay, so we've got those nice and mixed and hopefully smooth. We'll check real quick. I will say it's a lot easier this way than it is with the stand mixer. You don't have to take everything off and apart and all that just to check. But we are in good shape. I don't see any lumps or bumps in there. And in this case, I tell you with cheesecakes, it's okay to have some lumps and bumps because they'll cook out. Well, we're not cooking anything, so you want to make sure you don't have those lumps and bumps in there, at least what's acceptable to you. You may have some little itty bitty, lumps in there. I personally think it's okay. But next thing we're going to add to this is 1/3 cup, 75 milliliter of whole milk, room temperature. All our dairy is at room temperature today. So we'll get that in there. That was 1/3 cup, 70 milliliter. And then to that, we are going to add 1/2 teaspoon, 2 grams worth of vanilla extract. And then we will get that on low. And this will be the last thing we have to use the hand mixer for. But we're going to put this on low, and we're going to start out on low, and we're going to mix this until it's combined. Okay, so we've got that nice and mixed. We are smooth, looking good. So we don't need the hand mixer anymore, or if you are using your stand mixer, you won't need it anymore, because the last 2 ingredients we're going to fold in. And that's going to be our angel food cake. And all I did was, it is a 16 ounce, it's a 1 pound, 9-inch angel food cake. And I just tore it into, now I made mine, but you can just go get one from the store. Not pre-made, not that big a deal at all. All of this is pre-made, in the original recipe. But all I did was tear it into little pieces, 3/4 inch to 1 inch. A little bigger, a little smaller, but I just sat here and tore it up with my hands. So we're gonna throw that in there and get that in. And the best part is when you make it yourself. Now by making it myself, it was a box mix. I didn't actually sit here and take the time to make it and heat up my oven. for hours on end. I just bought a box mix and put it together, quick and easy, right? So we're gonna mix this in real quick and just get it started. You know, we're gonna fold it in with our spatula. It doesn't have to be anything, you know, crazy quite yet, because now that we got that started and going, I have got an 8-ounce container, one small container of whip topping, and it's 226 grams, right? Half pound. And we're gonna put this in also, and we're gonna fold this all together, you know, mix it with our spatula, but fold it, you know. And if you don't know what I'm talking about with folding, you're kind of making a figure eight. You're gonna just simply, at least that's how I do it, I run it through as a figure eight like such, and then I just fold it over, right? Figure eight, fold it over. So that way, and what you're trying not to do is you're trying not to lose any air in it. You don't want your angel food cake to smush, because it can. It's very, very light and fluffy. Angel light, fluffy, cloud-like. So get this stirred together real quick. All right, so we got that all combined, looking good. So now we went and got our crust out of the fridge, right? And it's firmed up. Doesn't take long. Butter, 10 minutes in the fridge, and it's pretty well, not completely stiffened back up, but enough that it's pliable. So now we're just going to take this and our filling, and we're going to put it on top and smooth it out even. All right, we got her on there. Spread out with the spatula, looking good. Crusty bottom. Well, that didn't make much sense. Filling on there. Now all we gotta do is add our cherry filling to this. You know what the best thing about these is? Now, you may say, I don't buy store-bought whipped topping. And you're right, I didn't used to either. But you know what this is? A Tupperware that I already paid for, and it only cost me 99 cents. And it came with whipped topping in it. It's not whipped topping with a bowl. It's Tupperware with a gift inside. That's the way I look at it, and I can use this for 1,000,001 things. So keep that in mind, especially in today's economy. Last thing we need to do before we put this in the fridge is put some cherry filling on here. Now, I'm using canned cherry filling, somebody else's canned cherry filling, not my own. That's just the one thing I've not ever canned for myself, although I have a recipe for it. If you remember a while back, or if you'd like, I have blueberry and blackberry pie filling that we can up. It's in the canning playlist. You could easily use that. Matter of fact, national holiday next week, my birthday, and we're celebrating on Wednesday. And if this turns out as good as I think it's going to, I'm going to do a blackberry version of this for my birthday, along with we're going to do enchiladas and tacos. So if you're in the Newark, Ohio area on Wednesday the 11th, swing on by, have a taco, have some enchiladas, grab some dessert. Just get a hold of me. But anyhow, I'm going to take this cherry pie filling, and instead of just dumping it on here and destroying everything, I'm going to spoon it on there. And you want to get, if you're going to buy canned filling, which I'm not against canned filling by any means, but I will say if you can make your own, run with it. Because I'm here to tell you, my cherry pie filling, which is the recipe in my cherry pie, is awesome. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's not. I've been making it for a very long time, and you know, everybody that's ever tried it has liked it. But if you have a recipe of your own that you like to use it. This is just I got to get it quick. This would be great for like a party that you didn't know you were going to, and you had to bring something, a potluck or whatever, a family gathering. But I'm gonna go ahead. I'm using 2 cans of this, which is 42 ounces, and it would be 1.19 kilograms of pie filling. 2 cans of pie filling. So anyhow, let me get these on here real quick. All right, so cherries are on top, right? We got filling, we got cherries, we got graham cracker crust. This took maybe 15 minutes to put together. I think I spent more time talking than I did working. So that being said, put this in the fridge for about a half hour. After that, if you're not going to serve it right away, I would put some saran wrap on it or something to cover it with until you do go to serve. But I am going to put this in for a minimum 30 minutes. Might be a couple, 2-3 hours. So we're going to have this for dessert after dinner tonight. But when I come back, either way it goes, we're going to try some. All right, I'll see you here in just 1 second. All right, guys, so we let that bad boy sit in the fridge and let everybody get to know each other pretty much most of the afternoon. We went ahead and ate dinner, and it was delicious. And if you saw yesterday's video, then you know what we had for dinner, and hopefully you make it too, because it was really, 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 really good. I'm not gonna tell you what it was though. Go check it out. You're gonna love it, I guarantee it. Absolutely fantastic. So the pictures I saw from the original recipe, of course they didn't have the graham cracker crust on this, and they just had it in a little cup. It was more like a parfait. But I'm going to try to get it out of here as a piece, but I got it a bowl just in case, because I would like to see if I can get it out of here, because we have the graham cracker crust on there, which should give it some stability, but I mean, who knows. So let's go ahead and cut this out, and we'll try to get some of it out. Okay, I got it out in one piece. But I still put it in the bowl just as I can, but there we are. I figured put it in glass that way you can see it better all the way around, whether it fell apart or not. But that looks really, really good, and it stayed pretty true to form. I mean, the cheesecake filling with the angel food cake really held. I mean, it's firm. It's everything you'd want it to be in a dessert filling. But anyhow, enough chit chat. Let's give this bad boy a try and see where we're at. I know my mouth won't quit watering. It just hands down, it looks fantastic. But let's give it a try and see what happens. Wow. That tastes like I just got promoted to vice president of my company. That's really good. I can see it without the graham cracker crust, but I think the graham cracker crust really adds a lot to it. I can definitely see this going with my blackberry filling, or a blueberry filling, or a peach, or basically whatever fruit filling you like. I can see this going with it. And I got to thinking about why this was chilling. In my box of dessert recipes from who knows who, I think I remember seeing something similar to this on one of those cards. I'll have to look and see, but you guys should give this a try. That is the quickest, easiest dessert I've made, and for being a no-bake, it tastes fantastic. And like I said, if you buy you can buy the angel food cake at the store, pre-made. Graham cracker crust, you don't have to heat it up, you don't have to heat your oven up. Mix it all together, throw it in the fridge. It takes 15 minutes, and you'll have a dessert for the evening with no fuss. But give this a try. Let me know if you do down in the comments below. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. So next week, I'm not going to promise a video. Any videos next week. The week after, grand possibility. Next week is actually my birthday, and we have a lot going on. We went from having no bakery orders until the very end of June to having bunches of bakery orders every week of June. So it's gonna be a bit of a challenge, but I'm not gonna make any promises for next week, other than I would really like to show you guys the garden and everything I've gotten done in the backyard, because it's been quite a bit. At least I feel it has been. But I can't. I'm not gonna make a guarantee on that one. But the week after, definitely dinner and dessert. I promise myself I am not gonna miss the every other week thing. But come hell or high water, I'll be here. But anyhow, until the next time we see each other, I love you. I love you very much, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Tell somebody else that you love them and you love them very much. They may need to hear it. It's going to make them smile either way it goes. It's going to make you feel good and smile too. And if you make them some of this cherries on a cloud, you are definitely going to get a smile out of somebody, and an evening of conversation. And there's enough there, you can invite the neighbors over, maybe rekindle an old friendship. Definitely invite the guy next door, or the guy walking down the street, maybe the family of 3, slice them some, save one for the next day and give it to the mailman. Either way, you're gonna make some friends with this one. So until next time we meet, I love you, and I will see you then. All right, see you later. Bye bye.